Service health dashboard, guys. Health API is service health dashboard is for you, for your dashboard, for your subscription, not for the other subscriptions. It's specially for you. But health API is something that is for Azure. For example, something went wrong with Azure in any data center, they will what do you call, broadcast the information to the all subscriptions, to all clients which are connected to the Azure. Top of which you will get to understand what is that has been impacted. Post which you can assess, stating that is there any resource which is lying in that particular data center which has impacted. So that's how you'll get to know in the basic support. In developer supports, these are the features, guys. You'll get things on email, and obviously you will receive the support only on email. How many times you want, you can raise the cases. And, as it's a non-business critical. So in support environment, guys, if you say one business day, do you know how many hours it will be considered? On a simple note, if Tanya can answer this question, why? Because how many business hours will be there in one day?
8 or 9.
No, 8. We call it as one business hour, one business day, 8 hours. Generally in a post language. Why? Because the documentation, if you're going to read in the Azure, it will be not openly written stating that 8 hours, less than 8 hours. Yeah, obviously, if you go in detail, you will get to know. But on a higher information, you will find only one business day. So you need to understand it is one business day, that is 8 hours. So if you're opting this support on a monthly basis, you have to pay $29 to Azure. And within less than 8 hours, they'll provide you in support, and they'll provide you information, whatever the issue that you're facing. Post which, if they are not able to achieve, they'll credit to your account, stating that we are not able to meet your SLA, and you'll get paid for that. Understand standard support, 24 bars and access to support engineer via phone and email. Standard support, phone and email. Seriously? Just a minute, guys. Let me see my documentation. Guys, sorry, the slide might be outdated, but from my document, as I see, you have 24/7 support of engineer via email, but not phone. But it is mentioned as phone. My Lucky, you there?
Abraham, you can get sorry.
Yeah, Mayank, tell me.
Yeah, so you can get support phone and email in standard support.
No. That is what I have my company's document. In my company's document, we have one subscription with standard plan. I will not be able to raise a call for it. That is what I'm checking.
You can get only email support in developer.
Sorry. Actually, the company's plan, I just now checked it with the document. It's a customized plan, standard plan, but it's a customized plan at lower cost. Yeah, the Azure again provides the feasibility where you can customize your support plan. If it's not a critical environment, they can customize the plan for you. So on a standard support level, guys, you will get the by phone, by email 24/7. So unlimited contacts by guys. You can raise a case at any time. You will have the cases in severity level: severity C support, severity B support, and severity A support. If it's a severity C support, less than 8 hours, you'll receive response and support from the Azure engineers. If they are what do you call, leveraging that particular SLA time, obviously they'll credit it to your account. So you'll get the architectural guidance here also. So you need to pay $100 per month. In professional direct support, guys, it is equivalent to again the what do you call, standard support. But what are the excess things that you will get here is, you'll get the architectural guidance on a best practice notes, and someone who is what do you call, good at architecture configuration from the Azure will what do you call, you can connect with them, onboard them, and consult with them, and you'll get these all services at a paid cost of $1,000 per month. On Premier support, guys, it is again bit more equivalent to the standard support and also to the professional direct. But only things where makes difference is uh, you can ask for an technical engineer who can look into your environment, and what do you call, he can tune things, you can change things on your environment, who can help you to what do you call, resolve the issue, whether it is only Azure or from the on-premises to Azure. It depends on all what kind of support you need. You just need to specify it, they'll contact you, and again what kind of severity case that you're raising, post which they'll get in touch with you and they'll resolve your issues. And see the difference. If you see this, you have on standard support, severe cases are addressed at less than an hour, and professional direct less than 1 hour. But severe cases, we have two types of severe cases here. What is less than 1 hour and less than 15 minutes. For example, unfortunately, if your mission critical servers, you have a premier support and went down, unfortunately, and you are not able to bring those servers again up, and you are not able to run your production. In that scenario, in that case, you can use this service and you can make things up again. So how do you contact people? You have a question there, question mark on top of the power, just a minute, let me take the cursor here. The Cloud Shell, besides to the documentary and the notification bar and settings, you have a question mark here. That's help note, and just click on help plus support. Whatever the subscription that you have taken and support you are opted for, you'll show, it will show there exactly. So top of it, you just select that option. You move on to the fill up chat, where you have to provide the detailed information, each and everything related to your issue that you're facing. Post which, if it is directly resolvable by the T-bot itself, it will recommend you what are the things that need to be changed. If it is not understandable for the T-bot, then it directly goes to the support engineer. Support engineer gives a call to you, or he will directly connect with you on chat, and he will fix your issue. That's how it will happen. So you see this here. When you go pay as you go model subscription, it's a basic one, and there is no cost that incurs for it. There is something that you can directly get it. Okay, so if you're going for any other plan, obviously you have to upgrade your plan from basic to other plans. You'll get the cost incurred for it, and you will have the difference of support that you receive post which you upgrade your plan. Okay. So related to the opening ticket, right? So click here, and as I mentioned, you'll get a chat kind of thing. So on a basic type, what type of issue that you're facing, you have to specify. What do you call? There will be a chat. Oh God, it is not this on the solution tab. Once you go for basic, it will take you to solution tab, on which it will ask you to. It will also show you which type of, if it's VM, for example, it's a technical one, it will show you the VM, or it will show you the application. it will list out all the things which are there in your subscription. You need to select that particular application or the VM or the resource which you have a problem with, and you have to specify what kind of issue it is. It will also show you the common issues which are faced by other users in different subscriptions. If you select anyone and it is meeting with the previous information, it will show you that this is the best practice that we have suggested for the other users. You can try this. Unfortunately, if you don't have anything there, you can select other and you have to write your comments stating that this is what the problem is. Then what it does is it will take you to summary the details, and it will review, and you can create the support ticket with the Azure, post which he will contact with you on mobile or on chat with you, so that obviously you can get the support and you can fix the issues. The channels are email and phone. As I said, we have Azure Knowledge Center where you'll get the information of most of the issues which are faced by the other Azure subscription users, whatever the issues that they have faced. And if you want to resolve those issues, if you're facing the same issues, if you want to resolve those same issues, you can refer the information from the knowledge center and you can fix the issues by your own. Okay, so this is how the knowledge center looks, guys. You can go to the knowledge center and you can search for the information, and it will post you some articles. You can read those articles. If it's similar to the issue that you're facing, you can fix it by yourself. Okay, so guys, you're fine with the support, right? Support plans, what kind of support plans that Azure is providing? Because you'll receive one question at least on based of support plan.
Of 24 hours support, 1 hour response, like that?
No, not that kind of question. He will ask you as I have written 3 papers of my friends also. Sorry to say this, but proxying is not a good practice, but I've helped my friends also. So I've came across 3 different types of questions. One, as you said, that is it a 24/7? That question I have received only one time, but twice I've received a question which is related to SLA, whether how to calculate the SLA of particular resource. How do you calculate it? What is the formula of it? Okay, Mayank, did you come across this question? What is the formula of calculating the SLA of a VM?
No,
fill in the
I
blank
didn't.
type form.
No, I didn't get.
Okay, so you receive this sort of question. So this is the one which I have faced for twice for my friend's paper.
Actually, I got in today question paper that in a standard plan, which type of support you will get, email or phone. So that statement came into the question paper, and I have to just select the support plan from the drop down.
From the drop down. Okay, that's kind of a fill in the blank, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how the questions will be, Dimple. So Amala was asking some question. Yeah, Amala, what is that question you're asking?
Yeah. If technician haven't joined within the SLA, whether we can do the escalation?
Yeah, obviously you can increase the severity, right?
No, if it is in severity A case.
For example,
yeah.
you have increased the severity case C, and you have 8 hours. You are expecting that someone will join you by within 8 hours, or you waited for 4 hours, but it's a bit urgent for you. So you can raise the severity case B also. But thing is, if they are not able to join within the timelines and stipulated SLA, guidelines, so they'll credit you on your account, and they'll that credits you can use for your billing. Okay, you can pay off. But again, paying credit will not help you to resolve your issue, obviously. Post which the support will be on a higher note, on a higher level. And that I have also came across this situation where Azure was not able to meet up the requirement, and there was a situation where that particular application is not able to communicate with the database solution that we have deployed on a platform as service. So my application is working perfectly, and it is able to ping the database and port number. Database port number is also being able to telnet, but the database is not responding to the application. So we have raised a case. I'm telling you the real thing which has happened. So we have raised a case and a severity B level. We have professional direct support for that. So we have requested the engineer to contact us, not on email, directly to give a call. So we didn't receive the call, but we have emailed and further twice and thrice, and we have tried to contact the other people also. That like what do you call escalation kind of thing, but we are not able to do that. But fortunately, within that timeline period, we have received a call. Post which they haven't mentioned about the crediting part. They have directly concentrated on our problem. They have tried it max to fix the issue by getting the other engineers into the call, and they have conferenced it. Issue is fixed. Now, after once the issue is fixed, they took our details like which subscription it is and what it is, and they have credited the amount that was what do you call understood by them, but that we haven't responded within 4 hours. We have took this much of time to resolve the issue, so we are paying this much of credits to you so that you can use these credits while paying the bills to the Azure. So that's how the Azure is. So they don't concentrate on what they are going to give it to you, but they concentrate on fixing the issues when you report the issues to them.
Okay. Thank you.
No, not a problem. So any questions related to support ticket and the support plans, guys?
Ibrahim, you told us about that question, right? How to calculate the SLA. What is the answer for that?
It is total time that total time that your VM is up, and total downtime that your VM is down. So total time minus total downtime into 100.
Total time is up by total time
minus total downtime into 100 is the formula.
Total time. Okay.
Yeah, I'll show you the formulas also so that you will answer the questions easily. So SLAs, guys. So we'll talk about the SLAs agreements. What kind of SLAs that are being provided by the Azure for all the resources which are there in the Azure. So if you see with the SLAs perspective, guys, this is the link where you can see the SLAs. Just click on the application or the resource that whatever that you're going to trying to deploy, what kind of support you will receive from the Azure, it will be clearly mentioned, and the calculation part also. Let's try this one so that you can understand. As Dimple also asked about this one, she'll understand how the formulas all will be. So you see this, go here. I want some computing information, virtual machine. So if you see the SLA here, for you can read in each and every line so that you'll understand. See, for all virtual machines that have 2 or more instances deployed across the 2 or more availability zones in the same Azure region, we guarantee you the virtual machine connectivity to at least one instance at least 99.99% of the time. Okay, so if you're going for availability set, that 99.99% will drop into 99.95%. So this is about the VMs. When there is a VM, obviously there will be a other resources like storage. Why? Because if any solution, if you want to deploy, there are mainly 3 core things are required. That is storage, computing resources as in RAM and the CPUs and networking. These are 3 core basic resources that are required in order to run a VM. So obviously you need also know about the storages. If you are opting a premium SSD and ultra disk SSD, 99.99% SLA. See, there's a difference. 99.99% is different from 99.9%. Why? Because 99.90 it will be. Okay. So 99.50. So on what disk? If it's a single instance that is used, and if you're opting this disk for that particular storage, premium storage and ultra disk, you will get this one. But if you're going for a standard SSD managed disk, obviously you'll get 99.95%. Sorry, 99.5%. So if you're going for standard HDD, as I mentioned you, 95%. Obviously, for every storage box there will be a redundancy, but doesn't mean that you will be relying on redundancy. If you want that continuous connectivity to happen, so you have to choose the best one for you. So each and every information related to that particular thing, it will be showing you. See here, as I mentioned you, maximum available time minutes minus downtime into 100. Got it? Dimple,
Yeah.
you see this formula?
Yes.
So
Yes.
this is how you will calculate it. So to post which this calculation again, guys, if you calculate is also that, if you calculating also, you will get the same information. But where if Azure is calculating, Azure will not calculate. Azure team will not calculate. Azure tool directly, it will analyze the information from the subscription. It will provide you information on the billing statement. This is what the percentage of availability that we have provided you. So everything is automated. So don't be an assumption that someone will be calculating and helping the information. There might be one or human can do error, but system can't do an error. I believe that human error is always possible, but system error, obviously, if the logic may go wrong, obviously entire the analysis will go wrong, but system will not do an error. You'll get the system driven formatted information, so that you'll get to know what is the exact thing that that you have utilized and how much it is been provided to you as part of an SLA. So this is where this is how you can go through the information, and you will understand how much of time how much of SLA that is been authentically Azure is providing to you as part of service. Post which you can understand what is the what is that you have to be from your side, what you can opt for and what you can request for. It's up to the user again. For example, if he is creating a virtual machine and you don't know what is the SLA which is provided for the storage, do you feel a VM, if you are calculating a VM availability, if you are opting for HDD storage, do you feel the same SLA will be promised of 99.99%? Can anyone answer this? There is a virtual machine.
No.
HDD storage you have opted.
No.
You are expecting 99.99%. Is it liable? Is it worthy that you can ask the Azure that 99.99% is the SLA that you have authentically given on the document and you are not meeting up to the mark? Why no? Why no? Why? Because the SLA will be calculated by adding these two. The storage also will be added, although into it, as well as the resources that you have opted, that will also added. That clubbed together, post which you will get the aggregate SLA of it. VMC is 99.99, storage is 99.50. You have to add both of it, and you have to make the average, out of which how much downtime you have received. You have to minus it, and you have to do the into 100. You will get to know how much of time you have received this availability for that particular VM. Okay, this is how the calculation will be. So clubbing will be there, depends upon your configurations. Okay. So preview feature, guys, we have already discussed about the preview feature, but I want to hear from you. Does anyone can help me to understand what is preview feature?
That was new features, right? What is being provided, sort of a beta version?
100%. Yeah, it's kind of a beta version. Yeah, it's not kind of a beta version. It's a beta version. It does this preview feature is preview feature is liable for the production?
No.
Why?
It may not have support, right? It is constantly developing, updating, not yet.
The first point that you have to remind yourself, when it is preview feature, there is no support from Azure. it is all again, you have to bear the cost. If unfortunately something goes wrong, if you have deployed it for the production, something went wrong, you are liable for that. Okay, there is no support provided from the Azure. Why? Because it is clearly mentioned in the document stating that it may continue, may not continue with Azure, the feature which is what you call delivered by the Azure, until unless that preview feature has to travel all the life cycle and has to go to the GA, general availability. Until it goes to general availability, that may will available, they may not be available. Okay, if you go deeply into the preview feature, so preview feature are for testing and not production use. As I mentioned, that is not for the production use. Could change significantly. Obviously, why? Because they have created if they have created any service under preview, they may continue, may not continue. They might get upgraded in order to make it continue. So the options which you have opted in the preview feature may exist with you or not, may not go live, as I mentioned. So there are two types of preview features. One is public and private preview feature. Can anyone help me to understand what is difference between public and private, as we already discussed about? Mayank, if you have read, can you let me know what is the difference between private and public preview feature? Dimple? Okay, then I'll answer this question. As Dimple said, it's a beta version, obviously, but if it's a public, if for example, if it's a feature which has been broadcasted to the public, to the all the customers of Azure, can be tried anywhere from the Azure, within the Azure, in the Azure subscription, from by anyone.